First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
It's a really tough day for city employees in North Royalton who were back at work today, just days after a building commissioner was fatally shot at work. Thanks for joining us on 19 News, first at 4 and streaming on 19 News Plus. I'm Nicole Versansky.
I'm Brian Duffy. You can imagine how hard it was for them to walk back into that building today. The city's safety director now doing what he can to try and make those buildings safer. Our Catherine Huntley live now with the very latest information. Good afternoon, Catherine.
Good afternoon. There's still heartbreak here in North Royalton. Just 4 days ago, that beloved building commissioner, Dave Smerek, was struck down in a senseless shooting while he was at work. And now the mayor and public safety director are doing what they can to put security measures in place to make it safer for their employees.
He was understanding, he was fair, he was patient, he had a wit about him, and he was just a great public servant.
After a shocking shooting, the city of North Royalton is working to make sure their buildings are safer. This man, Edward Beceda, is charged with murder. Charging documents say the 69-year-old walked into the city's service center and shot Smerek 3 times. 19 News has uncovered Beceda was cited by the building commissioner 2 weeks before the shooting.
Right now we're limiting public access until we have some firmer measures put in place to balance the public access with employee safety at this point in time.
The North Royalton Public Safety Director and Mayor Paul Marnichek say city employees are back to work today, but they are asking people to call in advance before heading to public buildings.
You have to have an appointment sometimes to get in, or at least notify if you're going to meet with a certain person. We have to set it up beforehand instead of just walking in.
Flowers still sit outside the service center. Now the city says they're going to look at installing metal detectors, buzzers, and more cameras at all buildings, along with training for staff.
And we'd also like to have some training for our employees to improve their awareness of different things in the environment, much like we did in the school system.
As the city works to move forward, Mayor Marnichek wants everyone to keep Dave Smerek's family in their thoughts.
It's important to remember that a family, they lost a loved one here. And if we can continue to come together, find ways to support them and help them through their process, that's definitely something we want to do.
Now, the city tells me they're also looking into posting a police officer at all public meetings, and they're also hoping to eliminate the Q&A portion of public comment, to eliminate that conversation between the city councilors and public officials and the public to hopefully keep tempers down. In North Royalton, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, a few showers we had out there earlier today are starting to exit our region. They are leaving behind a few clouds, and certainly if you step outside, you can still feel a lot of that humidity. So we still have some moisture in our atmosphere. Not that we're necessarily turning it into a better rain chance headed into tonight, but it may just keep a few of those clouds around here as we wait for this bigger storm system that brought us the rain yesterday to slowly clear off towards the east. As a result of that system being so close to us, it is still going to kick up those winds at times headed into tonight through the day tomorrow. So don't necessarily expect that to get significantly better over the next 24 hours, though these winds are certainly going to be manageable as we go through the day. You'll notice we still have these beach hazard statements essentially in effect, basically letting you know that there is that heightened risk for rip currents out on the lake. Certainly waves upwards of 4 to 7 feet, enough that you should probably be enjoying any beach days and beach plans from the shoreline. Winds right now are sustained about 10 to 20 miles per hour. At times have been gusting upwards of 25 miles per hour, and that may gust into that 30 mile per hour category. That is certainly still possible as we get through tonight and into tomorrow. The last couple showers that we had out there quickly exiting our area. I'm not really seeing a ton in the redevelopment of rain. Again, a lot of these have quickly dissipated across parts of northeast Ohio. The one shower we had out towards the islands in Sandusky has really been kind of dissipating here over the last few minutes. So things are quieting down for us. I'll walk you through where we head into tonight and the rest of the week coming up in a bit. New information on a horrible case of neglect. Now a son is accused in the death of his own mother. Paul Yeager from Jackson Township was supposed to be in charge of his 91-year-old mom's care. Listen to this. Investigators say Paula Blankenship died from hypothermia back in January. Court documents say she was bedridden and left in a home without any heat.
Yeager was arrested yesterday. He's out on bail, but is expected to be back in court tomorrow.
The Lorain County Board of Elections was covered in spray paint this weekend. You can see all of this, pretty nasty. Messages about child services, kidnapping, missing kids were scrawled across the outside walls and on a sign. But now a possible suspect is in custody. First at 4, Brittany Weir spoke to nearby business owners who were also hit with this graffiti.
If you drove down Clinton Avenue here in Lorain this weekend, you probably noticed a lot of buildings with this graffiti on the side, reading things like children's services and where are my children, leaving many local businesses like Clearview Hobby shocked and footing the bill to clean up this mess.
Gotta fix it. Can't leave it like that.
Wayne Packin was home Saturday night watching TV when his phone rang.
I got a call that said somebody's painting your building. Painting it? Okay. Well, so I jumped in the car. I'm 5 minutes from here, so came down and saw that. Oh, no.
His building, Clearview Hobby on Clinton Avenue, covered in spray paint. The messages, where are my kids, kidnapped, and child services.
I've had people stopping in and go, what's going on with the graffiti? And I said, I don't know nothing about it.
He wasn't the only one. Taylor Insurance right next door was also hit.
We noticed there were 2 panels across the windows that just said, where are my kids?
But what makes it even more strange is days before the vandalism, each say they received this strange handwritten letter in the mail.
I didn't think it was meant for me based on hospitals, and I thought that, well, I wonder who around here, and I thought, well, maybe the insurance.
Lorain County Board of Elections just down the street was among the hardest hit. These pictures show that damage. Director Lizette Gracia says thankfully county maintenance crews quickly cleaned up the mess. But the businesses aren't so lucky. It's costing them thousands of dollars to fix.
Sad, but we're all working together to try to get it removed and cleaned up, so timely for our customers.
The county says this was not an attack on the Board of Election process, and the Lorain County Sheriff's Office took a possible suspect into custody.
If she has a mental problem or something with the kids, and then to take it out on innocent store owners is really not nice.
We have reached out to the Sheriff's Office for the name of that suspect, but we have not heard back. In Lorain County, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Cleveland police now are calling an 8-month investigation a major blow to violent gang activity.
Multiple arrests, multiple guns seized, and one gang at the center of it all. 19 Data journalist Andros is here with the numbers behind this operation.
Yeah, we didn't know this was going on, and Police Chief Dorothy Todd said that's for a reason. This was a sensitive investigation that they've been serving search warrants for months on, but now they felt comfortable putting out some of the details. They were focusing on the 627 OBM gang. I asked police, what does that stand for? They said, well, they don't feel comfortable telling us that. Not exactly sure why. Here are some of the guns that they took off the street. Some of them had what's called an auto sear. It's a little piece of metal that goes in the back of a Glock or a 9mm that makes it fully automatic. You can see some of the clothes that they took in these search warrants, high volume magazines. That's a drum that holds tons of bullets. Long-lived Tap de Glitch, clearly somebody that had been killed. Another sweatshirt of somebody that had been killed in some of this violence. Let's go over the numbers. Again, it was an 8-month investigation. 14 total search warrants, 6 of those were served just this morning, and that's why the announcement was made. 12 guns taken off the street, and 28 guns taken off the street. 12 of them had that auto sears. They were fully automatic guns. 10 arrested, 7 of those today. Felony drugs. This is what they say this gang was involved in. Felony assaults, drugs, car thefts, and selling guns on the open street. If you want to see the name of all of those who have been arrested in the cities they are from, go to Cleveland19.com. We've given you the full list.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
All right, that accident's still causing a lot of issues here. 90 westbound at State Route 254 Detroit Road in Lorain County, Sheffield Village. Only about 14-mile-an-hour speeds here. Looking at the ODOT cameras, we are really backed up in the right lane here. Again, this is that construction zone where the left lane splits off, goes into the eastbound lanes, whereas the right lane stays in the westbound side. And I think if you want to get moving, you want to get in the left lane, or if you do have to get off at Route 57 or Detroit Road, here's a good alternative route for you. Get off at Route 611, take that down to Detroit, take Detroit down to Abbey Road, that's State Route 301. Take that all the way down to Center Ridge Road where it meets up with Route 57 here, and take that Lorain Boulevard, that's Edison Boulevard there in Elyria, all the way up to Route 57, which will take you back to I-90. Big time slowdowns there over in Elyria and Lorain County as well. We also have a crash, the Turnpike westbound just past I-71. No major slowdowns right there. There's some good news. I'll have a look at drive times coming up in just a bit.
Nicholas, thank you. Not a new video. It will look like an extremely dangerous tornado bringing down power lines. This is Appleton, Wisconsin. Doesn't it look like something, out of a movie? Right. This is incredible video. The storm, it actually tossed cars right on their roof. See, right there. Tore apart homes. The tornado actually packed more than 140 mile-an-hour winds. That's been updated. It's now confirmed to be an EF3 tornado. That's a monster. Local authorities are now taking a closer look at the damage.
I think what helped us was it was during the week. Everybody was at work. It was the middle of the day. Most people were, not at home and at their place of employment. That's the only thing we can really attribute that to, the low number of injuries and no fatalities that we've discovered yet.
All this damage is southwest of Green Bay. There are several communities in that area now under curfew, so crews can clear the streets and the power lines.
A stunning twist in the case of Bryan Kohberger, the man sentenced for the murders of 4 University of Idaho students.
So last year he pled guilty as part of a deal and was given 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Well, now he wants to take back his guilty plea and head to trial. Jerika Duncan reports.
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
More than 1 year after admitting in court to murdering 4 University of Idaho students in their home, Bryan Kohberger has filed to take back his guilty plea.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
In a statement to the New York Times Sunday, Kohberger said, "Justice was not served. My actual innocence is my truth, and the plea hinged on by false promises and blatant disinformation must be withdrawn." In court documents obtained by the Times, Kohberger cited ineffective legal counsel, saying his defense team failed to disclose or review exculpatory evidence. He also claimed his lawyers made promises about what life in prison would look like. Kohberger was convicted of stabbing Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Gonzalez in their beds multiple times during the early morning hours of November 13, 2022.
Each victim was stabbed multiple times.
Among the evidence, law enforcement officials say Kohberger's DNA was found on a knife sheath at the crime scene, and a car matching his own was caught on surveillance video circling the area. After his arrest, Kohberger denied committing the murders for more than 2 years, but eventually took a plea deal that promised he would not face the death penalty.
There's no other way to describe it than a long shot.
CBS News legal analyst Caroline Polisi says Kohberger may get an evidentiary hearing for his petition, but is unlikely to succeed in getting a trial.
The nature of guilty pleas are such that you don't get a second bite at the apple. You explicitly forego your rights to appeal. That's the whole point of entering into a plea agreement.
This man killed my daughter. I want him to have no influence in the world anymore.
Steve and Christy Gonzalez, the parents of Kaylee, told CBS Mornings this after Kohberger pleaded guilty last year.
Do you guys feel he's been remorseful?
No, not at all.
He's shown zero remorse. Not one bit. He's like a robot, a killing robot.
In a statement to CBS News Monday, the Gonzalez family said Kohberger, quote, never cried foul, never claimed he was uninformed or pressured, and never suggested there were problems with the discovery materials, adding, we believe fully in the evidence. State prosecutors declined to comment because of pending litigation. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
Ariana Grande is going to court. She says someone stole her unreleased music, photos, and videos, and she wants to know who did it.
In the new lawsuit, she's asking the court to force internet providers to identify the group of hackers that stole her stuff. She says they hacked into several phones and laptops of people on her team. In 2023 alone, she says they stole and released 45 of her songs on the dark web.
I think this case could test the boundaries of, can you sue anonymous people saying, I think something bad happened to me. I don't know by who, but I'm going to subpoena internet service providers and try and get the information I need to actually name the defendants.
Right now, Grande is on her first tour in 7 years. Her new album drops this Friday. Taking a look at our top 4 stories at 4, the late Republican Senator Lindsey Graham being honored with a special remembrance ceremony at the U.S. Capitol. Many friends, family members, former staff gathered in the rotunda to say their goodbyes. Graham died on July 11th at the age of 71. His remains will be taken to his home state of South Carolina tomorrow.
Life without the possibility of parole for Colt Gray. That sentence just handed down moments ago. He is the teenager who killed 2 students and 2 teachers at his Georgia high school. During today's sentencing hearing, prosecutors played several phone calls between Gray and his mom, where he bragged about his notoriety. His mother at one point promised to make a shrine to him. Again, this gunman will not be eligible for parole and will spend the rest of his life in prison.
French authorities have ordered nearly 4,000 people to evacuate from tourist cities along the Atlantic coast. New fires are erupting and old ones spreading today near a popular vacation beach area. Firefighters from neighboring countries are helping the French crews tackle those fires. Across France and Spain, a combined roughly 330,000 people have been driven out of their homes by huge wildfires.
Here at home, an IKEA store moving into Crocker Park. It's going to be where the old Dick's Sporting Goods was. This is going to be a smaller format IKEA store. You'll be able to order the larger furniture like beds and sofas for delivery and for in-store pickup. It's expected to open sometime next spring. Breaking at this hour, a statewide missing adult alert now for 67-year-old. This 67-year-old man, he's from Summit County. This is Frank Fair. He walked away from his Copley home yesterday afternoon. He hasn't been seen since. He suffers from dementia. If you see him, call 911 right away. Also breaking, the Hoover Dam is temporarily closed to visitors because of some emergency repair work to the road leading up to this area. So officials say the dam and the power plant are not at risk, but it's not clear when those repairs are going to be finished.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
Well, we are certainly getting lucky through the work week. We are trending drier and quieter here as we go through the next couple of days. Now, this will not, unfortunately, linger with us headed into the weekend. There will be some changes that work back in, but especially if you have maybe some summer outdoor plans with the kids over the next couple of days, you have certainly an opportunity to get out and enjoy some of this more pleasant weather that I'll say we'll have here as we close out the final days of July. Right now, temperatures are sitting mid to upper 70s to the lower 80s. Factor in a little bit of humidity that is out there. It feels a couple of degrees warmer than what the air temperature registers as, largely just because that humidity is still a little bit high, at least as for now. That north wind, though, is going to do its job, I think, over the next 24 hours or so and make things feel a little bit more comfortable. One way we'll start to see some changes coming back in, at least in the short term of our forecast. A little bit of sunshine here next few hours as that north wind will eventually help to kind of clear things out for us, but it's going to be a process. Winds right now are sustained between about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We have seen some gusts upwards of 25. It's possible you get a gust upwards of 30 miles per hour even headed into tonight. So that's why temperatures will still stay mild as we wake up early on your Wednesday. Where we go from there, though, we'll talk about it coming up.
2 Cleveland teenagers accused of murdering a Lyft driver back in February will be tried as adults. Police found 27-year-old Vasil Shvets from Parma slumped over his steering wheel on East 84th Street. Look how happy he is here with his little girl. He had been shot in the stomach. Both murder suspects were 17 at the time, but have since turned 18. Shvets escaped a deadly war in Ukraine, came to Northeast Ohio for a better life.
A disturbing discovery leads to the arrest and conviction of a Cleveland man who was caught lurking outside someone's home last fall. Adam Hall, now sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. Police responded to a 911 call back in October saying Hall was ringing a person's doorbell and knocking on windows, refusing to leave. Officers caught him in the victim's backyard. He was dressed in all black with a loaded gun, knives, drugs, and condoms. A first of its kind graduation today in Cleveland.
Yep, 36 young adults choosing hope over violence. They completed a course designed to train them to help others stay off the streets.
Harry Boomer joining us live now with new details on this program, Harry.
Guys, remember the song that Whitney Houston sang, The Greatest Love of All? I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Well, here at Case Western Reserve University and the city, they're using that premise as a guide stone. It's called New Gen Frontline 2 and 6. Their motto is,
those closest to the problem are those that are going to be closest to the solution. So with community partners in the city, we were able to recruit all of these amazing individuals. To shine out Foster.
Maurice Gray. Today, 36 graduates ages 18 to 25 crossed the threshold from their difficult past to a better future for themselves and the city. They've suffered many of the traumas we've seen: family members murdered, shootings, and drug-infested communities. They hope to help Cleveland overcome.
And we are CVI workers, also known as Safe Passengers, and we're here to help the youth. Coming up soon, we will be going into schools to talk to the youth. We also here to guide the youth and let them know that they're safe and that it's someone that's around to actually care for them.
They completed a paid 6-week, 120-hour academy at Case Western Reserve University. They are trained in conflict mediation, trauma-informed care, de-escalation, leadership, workforce readiness, and community violence intervention.
Being able to make better choices that aren't so negative, unhealthy, violent will only benefit Cleveland and the communities and neighborhoods we love.
I joined this program because I wanted to make a difference. I've seen it's too much violence going on in Cleveland right now. Too many young black men is dying.
To get spiritual about it, Matthew 5:9 reads in part, "Blessed are the peacemakers."
We want to just show them that playing with guns and being in the streets and all that it's not it, because at the end of the day, you're only going to end up in two places, and that's jail or in the grave.
This is the first class, but not the last. Once these graduates hit the streets and schools to spread the message of hope, they want others who are sick and tired of all the violence to change their habits, be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. At Case Western Reserve University, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
Good news for those of us on the west side in Lorain County. Our accident that was on 90 westbound just past Route 254 Detroit Road has been cleared. We're moving smoothly now here past Route 611 here in Lorain County on I-90. Remember, though, it is a construction zone. Take your time through that. Of course, the left lane goes into the contraflow lane in the eastbound lanes, and the right lane stays right there in the westbound lane. So just be wary of that. It could be a little tight as you're driving through there. Still dealing with an accident, turnpike just past I-71 here. This is westbound here. Have not seen many slowdowns from this, so there's some good news right there. But we are seeing some slow traffic I-480 westbound, basically from the Valley View Bridge all the way to I-77. 40-mile-an-hour speeds there. Look at that from our ODOT cameras. Shows, yeah, a little bit of a backup, but it's not really terribly slow. You shouldn't expect too many delays as you're going through that general area. But a little bit of a slowdown again. 8 minutes if you're traveling to I-271 from I-77 and I-480. And 90 West still a little slow in Lorain County.